The Shanahan offense has turned into a phrase that has entered the vernacular of NFL fans over the past decade. The disciples of the Shanahan tree have long been associated with the outside zone run concept, which emphasizes linemen moving laterally and the running back reading blocks to find an open lane, as their preferred offensive hub, with the bootleg, screen and play action spokes sprouting off of the core run concept that could, in theory, be run against any type of defensive front. What we call the Shanahan offense was a merger of West Coast passing principles and an Alex Gibbs-coached outside zone scheme that was introduced in Denver by Mike Shanahan in the 90s and early 2000s, and polished by Clint Kubiak in Houston a few years later. When Shanahan went on to coach Washington, the young staff that he assembled ended up being full of future NFL head coaches. The names on that staff: Kyle Shanahan, 49ers, Sean McVay, Rams, Matt LaFleur, Packers, and Mike McDaniel, Dolphins, are still currently head coaches and have been in the football cultural zeitgeist long enough that their staff photos in Washington are at a meme level by this point. The growth of the Shanahan offense, and the names involved, has been discussed and dissected ad nauseum. But as the branches continue to sprout from this coaching tree, it's interesting to see how some have evolved to survive as the NFL ecosystem adapted to attack back. Other branches, like former Houston Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, withered away as they were stuck in a system that felt barren compared to the operation that others had added so many layers to. While it seemed like any offensive play caller in Kyle Shanahan's orbit could be plucked, anointed as a head coach, and microwave a top 10 offense instantly, each of those play callers sustained success by the adjustments they made with their personnel and team strengths and weaknesses. Each play caller took on their own distinct flavors or dialect coming from the same mother tongue, which means the Shanahan offense is really more an offensive system, i.e. play call verbiage, use of cadence, pass protection rules, route running details, etc., rather than a singular call around which every coach structures their entire offense. Some, however, still bow to the altar of outside zone. Why Shanahan tree was primed to succeed a decade ago. Kyle Shanahan had his best season as a coordinator with the 2016 Atlanta Falcons, where he coached with many of the same names as his old Washington staff. Outside zone was still the main portion of the run game menu, and it was perhaps the perfect time to be an outside zone aficionado in the course of NFL history, because right before the Shanahan offense spread across the league, the en vogue unit and philosophy was the Seahawks Legion of Boom and their cover 3-based defense.